Joining us to discuss Wray's testimony is New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew. He's a member of the House Judiciary Committee. It's good to see you, Congressman. Saw you up there. First question, pretty simple one. What's your takeaway based on what you've heard thus far, and what do you want to know from Director Wray?
Well, the takeaway's got to be that we still haven't gotten the answers that we really want. There are many questions we asked about FISA and how did certain things happen. For your listeners and viewers to understand, FISA is a way that the FBI can dig into your personal life at every level if they want to, and it was misused a great deal, and we want to make sure that that doesn't happen again. It was misused hundreds of thousands of times. And Wray just said that they're going to do better, but really didn't get into it. And I think he's got to get into that more. I'm going to ask him about how they were going to embed secret, literally, agents into Roman Catholic churches, and were having dialogues at what they considered radical Roman Catholic churches if they were traditional. In other words, if they believed in the right to life, if they believed in certain tenets of Catholicism, they were actually going to go after them. That, thank God, was repealed and it didn't happen. But that's something I'm going to go into detail with them, because they have an internal memo that they should release to us so we can understand the real total truth of what happened, and we haven't gotten that. What we've gotten is a very redacted memo that doesn't mean anything. We want that information. It is no risk to national security for him to give it to us. So we're going to push for things like that.
The Richmond memo, we'll be looking forward to that. Good of you to step out to talk to us too. And so much that people do want to hear about, especially when it comes to the Biden family business and the alleged corruption and influence peddling. There was a heated exchange earlier. Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz pulled up that WhatsApp message that was from the whistleblower's testimony from Hunter Biden and read it directly to him. Let's play Wray's response first here.
You don't give straight answers. You give answers that later a court deems aren't true. And then at the end of the day, you won't criticize an obvious shakedown when it's directly in front of us. And it appears as though you're whitewashing the conduct of corrupt people. Respectfully, Congressman, in your home state of Florida, the number of people applying to come work for us and devote their lives working for us is up over 100%. We're deeply proud of them, and they deserve better than you.
Okay, so Wray sort of sidestepped that as well, but we know the GOP has been pushing for more answers into the financial transactions with the Bidens.
Absolutely, and that's something we should know too. It's like we say over and over again, rules for thee, but not for me. So it's okay for President Biden to have all kinds of documents in his home and in other places that they don't belong. None of them were skiffs. None of them were safe. But that doesn't matter. And they gently just walked in there. And after Biden had all the time in the world that he wanted, with President Trump, we had a squad of FBI agents go in there and literally look like they were going to shoot somebody. It was almost a frightening. There was no need to do that. They just could knock on the door, said, we have a warrant for these documents. But it's not the same rules all the time. Biden's son does all of these activities. It goes from the cocaine to everything else. It is bizarre how in the United States of America now, you don't have to tell the truth. You can hide the truth, and you don't have the same level of accuracy when you deal with the Biden family that you do when you deal with Trump. It's wrong. People sense that it's wrong, and that's why every time they push on President Trump more, he goes up in the polls more, because people feel it and they sense it and they know it's not right.
Hey, Congressman, real quick, because we have to break out here, but what's the Democrat strategy in this? They've talked a lot about domestic terrorism. They've talked a lot about former President Trump. Is it to kind of shift the dialogue away from, what the Republicans are hitting him up with?
Very astute of you. It's exactly what they're doing. It's the oldest trick in the world. First of all, they're obsessed with Trump. If there were 12 different things we spoke about today, one of them were the Trump issues. There were many, many other issues: school boards, FISA, the Catholic issue, just a host of other issues. And none of this was exclusively Donald Trump. But they want to shift it away because they don't have any answers. So they go to domestic terrorism. They find a really scary example of it. because they want to use that to take everybody's Second Amendment rights away. They want to use that to take other rights away and to blame all the problems of the world on one group of people, rather than say any kind of terrorist. The domestic terrorist is like a code word for folks that they don't agree with sometimes, and sometimes they are bad guys. And we should go after them if they're bad guys, but we should go after the folks that riot sometimes, the folks that are breaking into stores and grabbing all kinds of products from stores illegally. There's a lot of things that we need to do, but we need to do it in a fair way. And the point is that the FBI no longer has been fair. It hasn't been the FBI that we used to know. We used to need them to protect us from bad guys.
Well, and
now we need people to protect us from.
The polls and the Americans' distrust, certainly not just Republicans, but independents do reflect on that lack of trust in the FBI, sadly, as you state today. Congressman Jeff Van Drew, wish we had more time. We know you're very busy today as well, so we appreciate you giving us some time as well. Thanks so much.
We'll be watching.
My pleasure. Thank you.